The rules are very simple. Each school is given 5 minutes to perform. After 5 minutes, you'll be stopped. You are expected to prepare a dance, an African story dance step with either a drama, folktale music, whatever kind of music you are doing. I do not want to hear any Western song. This is our culture and we have to respect it. You tell us where your dance is coming from, which tribe and what you are representing, because this is the essence of the competition. Okay? So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, viewers all over the world, this is the Arena Working and Talent Show. We are going into the Nigerian culture. Our students of the product schools here in Owerri, Imo State, Nigeria, will be performing right, and we have to, because this is the essence of the competition. Okay? So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, viewers all over the world, this is the Arena Working and Talent Show. We are going into the Nigerian culture. Our students of the product schools here in Owerri, Imo State, Nigeria, will be performing right now. At this point, they have a beautiful dance step from one of the party. Share this one and drop your comment. If you love African culture, give us a chance now. The product schools, your time starts now. It is, remember, we said a dance with this. Let us see what with the music.
sees his rose. He walks with the earth. The boy is strong, peaceful, and wise. There are pickers of clay, farmers of grain. Their spirits dance where the rivers meet the sky. Showing unity and harmony with nature. Leading hands to the sky. Dreaming from the flame and the shadow of comfort. They walk the long path. Their fruit was unbroken. The earth remembered them. The rocks whispered their names. Showing suffering, pain, agony, endurance. Earth remembered them. The rocks whispered their names. Showing suffering, pain, agony, their spirits are feasting land where our ancestors. This is the story of Taye. So peaceful, loving, unified, living harmonious.
The Baye people were once loving community until something like a betrayal into the community and there was misunderstanding. But at some point in time, the letter became happily ever after. Thank you.
Wonderful. Please make some noise. Put your hands together for this. I am so happy and emotional right now. I'm struggling to even withhold tears from my eyes because these two schools you have done very well. Wow. When we came up with this idea of the African story, let our school children recreate our African culture. It was as if they may not be able to bring it out the way we wanted it. But viewers, ladies and gentlemen all over the world, What is your comment? We need to tell our own African stories. We are Pan-African, and we will tell our own story, not the other way around. Our school children are telling the story. Globally, everybody listen to the African story, not the way it was told by the people who distorted the story, but by us, Africans, telling our own story. Please, put your hands together for yourself once more. Alright, everybody come inside. It's time for JAMB, WAEC, and NECO results are all together, put together. So, who has done well, who has not done well? But I believe all of you did well.
Both of you were there. But when you are doing an act of singing or any sort of performance, it is always important that you try to catch the attention of the judges at the very first instance. The moment you pick up the mic, you want to start getting the attention of the judges. You see, when you started out, at that point I was like, is she serious or just want to play? Until you started picking up. But the bad aspect of it is that very moment, I've already had a judgment about you. I've already had an opinion about you. Because you started out so reluctantly, even though you picked up as you progress. So in the future, going forward, from the moment you mounted the stage, you were good. But I noticed that your voice, your rhythm is either going up or coming down. I noticed when you signal the DJ to bring it up, because probably that time you wanted to go high a little bit. But your performance was very good. So I want to, thank both of you. I want to encourage both of you. Don't give it up, keep it up. You people, have put up something very, very nice. And I think you people did very well. Congratulations to both of you. Now, to the most important aspect of it is, I want us to learn something here on the debate. So, my observation was that most of you were trying to, dish out their point. You were trying to make the judges and every other person, see the reason. You are trying. Patrick. You see, sometimes in a debate, especially when you have a very tough topic that seems like you don't have points, that seems like you are coming from a very coming from a point of view that you don't. That seems like you are coming from a very coming from a point of view that you don't have much points to make. There is what is called punching the holes. So you want to punch holes on the point the opponent has made. You want to take advantage of the point the opponent has already made. And I will give you an example based on this particular topic, so that people will understand what I mean. Another point I wanted to point out is, excuse me, can you stand up please? Yeah, please. The other lady, the lady speaker. Yes, two. Now, these are the two people I picked out in that debate. There was something about this guy. He was, the level of confidence. He didn't want to rush his point. He was just trying to make us understand why we must accept, we must believe in him. You don't have to begin to rush, make it look like it's a fight. Do you understand? The level of confidence in him made me begin to wonder, probably this guy, has some level of education overseas. At the point, he was like, come on guys, come on. That point, he didn't say anything. What that point means is that he was trying to talk to you, he was trying to talk to the judges, think about what you're about to do. Think about in him. Made me begin to wonder, probably this guy, he didn't say anything. What that point means is that he was trying to talk to you, he was trying to talk to the judges, think about what you're about to do. Think about at that point, he was trying to it's about what this point this person is giving. Do you think is right? Understand? So, punching a hole on the points of your opponent. Okay, let me address your own issue. Yeah, you were fine. You were trying to make your point. The problem about trying to make your point is, if you are not able, or at the point you forget to address those points, you may find yourself, wondering. But punching a hole, you're trying to make the points your opponent presented to look weak to the judge. I'll give you an example. I will say, for instance, I want to say that I want to support the fact that the social media should be restricted. And my opponent already made wonderful points about why we should know that his points were very clear. I mean, it's understandable that social media has a lot of advantages. Now, I want to speak otherwise. I can come around and say, well, there are two sides to a coin. No doubt, the social media has some advantages and also has disadvantages. But the judge, I address the judge that I will want them to look at some of the reasons that will affect the society when they don't restrict social media. One is like, you see, the information as raw as it is not processed, you don't even know the person that's giving you that information as you assess the authenticity of that information. And information on social media, it goes like wildfire. Now, the disadvantage is that if the information is coming from the wrong person and it is spreading, a lot of people will go home with the wrong information. Do you understand? You don't need to, at that point, you have accepted the fact that yes, social media is good, but there are some aspects of it that we need to look at. There are some aspects of it that we don't need to allow to spread on it. The other guy can say, you can also say, most of the people that is working or talking against restriction of social media are people who don't want their crime or their evil to be exposed. Otherwise, if you don't have anything to hide, why are you concerned about restricting or spreading or allowing social media to spread? So you can jump in between what your opponent is saying and the point you have to make your point. Do you understand? So you don't need to all the time, try to prove something. You can just pick up what your opponent has said and both those things. Make the judge know that yes, he's making a point, but you must not rely on it. There are issues about those points. So these are the aspects I want you to develop. So your opponent might be making big, good points. Don't be intimidated. Don't worry about what your opponent is saying. At the end, aspect of it that we need to look at. There are some aspects of it that he's making a point. He's making a point. Do you understand? Even though you are not the owner, it did not originate that point. But you have succeeded in making the judge to think twice about giving 10%, 6%, or whatever percentage he thought that he had in mind to give the other person. You have succeeded in bringing down making the judge to think twice before giving that person those points. So I want you people to develop on that. I want you guys to develop on that aspect of trying to punch a hole on whatever thing. It doesn't matter how strong. It doesn't matter how strong the point is. Try to punch holes on the point of the opponent. It is very important. And then try to build confidence. You are very good. I love your confidence. You spoke like a senator. In fact, I love the way you spoke. Really, that was very nice. So I want to thank you all. It was very thank you very much. You well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Judge. Those were corrections. At the point in time, the debate, double as in a fight. And
sing with a lot of air, you don't manage your air. So if you don't manage your air, your pronunciations will, and if you don't get your pronunciations right, your diction and your delivery will bash. I comment the same from the other side. And you should also understand that the judge for every event as an entertainer is your audience, not just the person here. Your first action is to get their attention. Okay, I was an artist, or I am an artist for a while. The worst thing that will happen to you as an artist is when you're singing and people will say, oh. Have you heard that before? You will become so shy that you cannot do anything again. So that is why it is good to enter your stage guns blazing. Make them clap first. Okay, that being said, it still goes down to the poet. The poet, your words and your dictions need to come out because your message is what we are all listening to, and that is what we want to get. You can decide accent, you can decide to have the accent, but is and now to the judgment day. For the world day, on Neb's foundation got 38 points. And Broad Oak got 88 points. And for the Scramble World Fame, Oneb Foundation got 0. Broad Oak got 60 points. You should all understand that we are all winners here. Coming out here to contest is easy. Coming out here to contest is not easy. Now, on the poetry, Oneb's Foundation got 7.5 over 10 points over 10, and Broad Oak made 7 points. In the creative writing, you should understand that the points that are coming with it is a cumulative from the 3 judges. That's why we have the points with it. Now the creative. Okay, for the creative writing, Oneb's Foundation made 6.7 points, while Broad Oak made 8 points. Now to the singing, Oneb Foundation made 9 points, while and for the debate, Oneb's Foundation made 7 points. And for the debate, Oneb's Foundation made 7 points, while Broad Oak also made 7 points. And for the cultural dance, which is the missing 5 points. So sum those scores and give us the overall score. Let's get the overall score. Now, this is where the judges' decision ends. Now listen. The competition is not ended, like I always say. For every vote you have is 1 point. Every vote. So when we get the final score, we'll know the difference. Somebody is leading. By next week, Friday, voting will stop. Saturday, we are going to announce. Just like I want to announce the final score for the last week competition, which we are going to notify the schools. Last week, Premier Secondary School, Albana Secondary School, as well as Rogers Foundation College, here was war zone. I can tell you that here was war zone. It was 3 schools, 3 all part. They were so serious. They got to the point my camera and leave camera run. It wasn't funny, but they fought so hard. At the end of the day, 1 school need to go. The total score on that day, Rogers Foundation had about 138 points. Albana Model Secondary School had about 164 points. And
Premier International got 189 points. That's how they stood. And then the voting started. Rogers Foundation voted 37 points. Albana Model voted 47 points. Premier International Secondary School voted 89 points. That simply shows what Premier Secondary School took the day, and they are qualified to strength. Followed by Albana Model Secondary School. They have also qualified to the next round, and that means they brought home, Roger is out of the competition. So, we have Albana Model Secondary School and Premier Secondary School to the quarterfinals of this competition. Now, for the results, we have ten points each of the scores. We have Odes Foundation Academy with a total score of 77.7 points, while we have the Broader Schools with 94. So now that means one thing, Broadway is leading, but the good news is that today we wanted you to compete and test what it looks like in the arena. But there's two of you will be qualifying to the next round. The Broadway and the Foundation, because every week 2 schools qualify. Come, they forfeited. Christian International did not come, they forfeited. 2 schools must qualify to enter into the next round. So, the both of you are qualifying. Honest, you are barely qualifying, so you had better go and work on your time. So we have the Broader Schools, Odes Schools, Premier Secondary School, and Albana Model Secondary School into the next round. The draw will be done and sent to your school next week, Saturday, when Root School will be competing against Apostolic Faith, and of course we have Amide Secondary School competing against Christ the Savior Secondary School. Thank you very much. This has been our show. You are all done well. And thanks to the judges, thanks to the teachers, thanks to the management of the schools. Please, your voting continues on the platform. Thank you very, very much.